Well, everybody, it's another Conversations with, and we made a promise when we had this dear, wonderful lady, Lina Denuncio, was on with us, and we made a promise that we're going to come in and she's going to do recipes for us because this is something she's done all her life, and she and her husband had a wonderful restaurant in Marlboro for many, many years, and she now lives here in Charlton. So, Lina, we're ready to go.
Okay, Dick, we're ready to go. So, as I said, we're gonna do homemade fettuccine with homemade sauce.
Okay.
Something that people, they're really scared about making it because, they don't know if the dough will stay together or
Yeah.
whatever. So it's, technique that I use. I'm sure a lot of people by me, they know how to do it. So we're going to start. I'm going to start like, putting this, the flour on my board here.
That's regular flour?
That's a regular flour.
Right.
You can use, different brands. I use King Arthur.
Yep.
And I'm going to use 3 eggs because I figure when I do cooking for my family, 1 egg for each person.
Good.
Probably is a little bit more than it's going to be a little bit more for 1 person, but it doesn't matter because we like that.
Good.
You can have stuff left over and just, the pasta left over and you can use next time. This is, a mix of eggs and flour. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt here. Just to give her a little, a little push, because then we're going to put salt when we cook the pasta. Okay?
Yeah.
So what I do, I just mix everything until all the flour gets absorbed. And start working the dough. Okay, when the dough is all together. Now, if it happens that you put too much flour, then you can just add a little bit of water so that everything will come together. And all right, at this moment, I'm going to scrape what I have here with my scraper. Have you ever had homemade pasta, Dick?
Well, many, many years ago, my first girlfriend was Antoinette Cardarelli, and her mother and father were from Italy. And I went down there on Sundays, and they would have me for dinner. And I was about 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Cardarelli used to grab me by the cheeks, and she'd peek. I was a skinny little kid. And she'd say, "Dickie, I'm going to make you nice and fat." And she would, I mean, everything they had, she made, and it was, unbelievable.
You see, it looks like now this flour is not, it's a little sticky.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add a little flour to make it, work and not be sticky. So what do? You work the flour with, the palm, what is it? The palm? No, the palm of your hands, right? You got to make sure you don't do it this way. You got to, use this part.
You roll it, yeah.
Yeah, to roll it. Still a little sticky, so in order for you to make the pasta, you have to, try maybe a few times, God knows I've been doing this forever. So,
Oh, yeah.
So I don't, never use any recipes anymore. You just fill the pasta, you fill the dough.
Yeah.
And
I remember my Nana, when I was a little boy, she used to make bread every Saturday. And she would roll it and roll it, she was...
Yeah, I mean, in the old days, you know, they didn't have the machine.
No,
And so
everything was done by hand.
everything was done by the wooden roll.
Yeah,
And
Nana she had a wooden roller, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. I used to do it that way too. But you know, when you have a machine, why you want to do it by
Yeah,
hand?
yeah.
You know, it's easier to do it by, you know, with the machine. And I'm sure whoever wants to learn is not going to use the hands, you know, with the roller. They want to do it quick.
Yeah.
And they want to do it fast, so. Okay. Now looks like it's pretty good, and it's almost there where I want it to be.
Yeah.
Now, what we're gonna do now, after the dough is ready, we're gonna let it rest, okay, for 10-15 minutes.
Yep.
You wanna touch it and see how it is? No,
I'm
right?
all right. You're doing great.
When I teach this to, you know, my students, you know, I make them touch it so they know the consistency. They know how.
Well, I can see it getting.
Yeah, it's nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is ready, but we gotta wait and let it rest for a little bit. And what I do, I put a bowl on top so it doesn't get dry.
Yep.
And I'm gonna wash my hands, okay?
Yep. This is unbelievable. Now, you know, the thing about this is how neat it was, how she started and put the eggs in it and just rolled it out and then kneaded that dough and did it all by hand. So it's unbelievable. And, you know, it's just unique. So, and by the way, anybody can do it. You just got to learn how to do it. Now, she's been doing it for years, so to her it's boom. But, you know, we can learn how to do that. That was really something. And,
Okay, so that's resting.
okay.
So in the meantime, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna make the sauce.
Okay.
This is called marinara sauce.
Right.
Okay, it doesn't mean that there is some fish in there.
Yeah.
We call it marinara because it's very light, quick, and delicious sauce.
Yeah.
All you do, you will put, okay, just a little bit of oil to cover the base, you know, of the pan.
Yeah.
And then fresh garlic. The most garlic you want to put, the better.
Yeah.
You know, the garlic is good for us, right?
Oh, very good.
It kills a lot of, you know, it kills everything, so you feel better and you're in good health if you have a problem or whatever. I mean, I love garlic.
My wife loves garlic too.
Yeah.
Whenever we go out to Mario's or any place that's Italian, she always makes sure there's garlic. She loves it.
Yeah. So here I am. I'm gonna do it by hand, but I have the garlic press too.
Yeah.
But you know, this is easy, and I don't have to wash another utensil.
Yeah.
You know.
So you break it all up into little.
Yeah,
little
I
pieces.
just cut them in little pieces. You know, I mean, you have to be careful because you can cut yourself.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
But you know, I'm used to do this a lot. When I had the restaurant, I used to make big pots
Oh, yeah.
of marinara sauce because, you know, you can use marinara sauce in
Everything.
everything,
Yeah.
exactly. You can use it, you know, for pasta, you can use it to make pizza, you can use it to, you know, to make pasta fazool.
Yeah.
You know pasta fazool,
Yeah,
right?
I do, yeah.
You know, that's pasta and beans. Now, one thing you have to make sure not to burn the garlic,
Okay.
okay? Because once you burn the garlic, then you have to start all over again.
Uh-oh.
You have to start all over again because it gives a bitter taste to the
Oh, yeah.
sauce. So that's right. I'm not going to move from here. And now this is my tomato jars. You know, I make this from the tomato from the garden. Or if I buy the tomatoes, you know, and if I don't have it, I'll buy it. And it's, you know, beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of salt already at the bottom, and then there is a basil leaf and the tomatoes. Okay, this is sizzling. Okay, the garlic is a nice color now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just take it away from the stove and just add the tomatoes in there. There is a little bit of basil at the bottom. I wanted to get all of it. Now, if people don't have, for example, the homemade tomatoes that you make in jars, they can just use pastine, you know, kitchen-ready tomatoes, which are the ones that I prefer, you know, over everything else.
Do they still use tomato paste?
Yeah, they still use tomato paste, but I don't use it that much in this type of sauce.
Okay.
When you make a ragu, then you use tomato paste.
Okay.
And you know how tomato paste is started?
It's really thick.
Yeah. When I was in Italy growing up, I remember every year, you know, every summer, the temperature was more regular then. Yeah. But every summer we would make the jars, plus we would make tomato paste, which was the tomato pureed, and you know, we would put them in this big dish in the sun.
Yeah.
Every single hour we would go and stir it up, but for days, not just one day.
Oh, wow.
The sun was so nice and hot.
Yeah.
So we would, you know, make sure that once all the liquid from the puree was disappeared, the tomato paste would be ready.
Well, my mother had a recipe from one of her neighbors, who was an Italian, and she had a sauce recipe, and she used to use tomato paste in it.
Yeah.
A little skinny can of.
Yeah, you know, you can put
can.
like when I do the bolognese sauce.
Yeah.
So that's a sauce that comes from the North Italy.
You use meat in it, yeah.
Yeah, you use the ground beef, you know, you use the carrots, all the vegetables. That's when I use tomato paste. I don't even use any other tomato.
Okay.
Just put tomato paste because the sauce has to be dry.
Yeah.
You know, the meat and the sauce, it's really dry. That's a good, you know, sauce also to use when you make lasagna.
Yeah.
You know, you add some vegetables with that, you know, either spinach or some other stuff. You know, whatever you like. Sometimes I'll put mushrooms or I put spinach. And so then that's the base, you know, the meat and tomatoes for the lasagna. And then there is the bechamel sauce, which you compensate you know, for not having the the running sauce, you know. But you know, the sauce is really, really beautiful. It's not from my hometown, you know. That is from the Bologna area. That's why it's called the Bolognese.
One thing a lot of people don't realize is in Italy there's all different sections, and their food is different.
Every region
has their own
specialties.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add a little bit of sauce. I mean, salt. Remember that there is some salt in there, which, you know, I know because I made them. So just a little bit of salt to finish up this. And now...
And you bring it up to a boil.
It's boiling.
Yeah.
And this is a quick sauce. You don't need to cook it that long.
No.
No. You know, as long as it goes down a little bit, you know, when it evaporates a little bit, the sauce is ready.
Yeah.
You know, it's very quick. where the ragu,
Oh, yeah.
and in New York they call it gravy,
Yeah,
which is I
gravy,
don't know
yeah.
where it came from, but we call it ragu.
Yeah.
That one, cooks for a longer time.
Oh, yeah.
In the old days, they didn't have
They would
stove.
they would cook it all night.
Yep, they didn't have a stove in the old
No.
days, so they used to cook it in the in the chimney,
Yeah.
the open chimney
Yeah.
that they, these big pots, and then
Oh,
the
yeah.
heat underneath wasn't that strong, so
No.
that's why they had to cook it for a long time.
Yeah.
And in that type of sauce, you will use the meat.
Yeah.
My mom used always do the sauce, the ragu with the spare ribs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we the kids, we would love that. It was
Oh, yeah.
like incredible. So if this requires a little water to make it a little longer cooked, and I will add a little bit of water, okay, and there we go. This is almost done. I'm going to just have it another 5 minutes on the stove, and then we are going to start with the pasta.
Unbelievable, though. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, people they get so afraid of cooking Italian food, but Italian food is not that difficult.
Oh, no, it's not. I used to have this great recipe from a friend of mine in Philadelphia, and it was her mother's recipe, and I used to make lasagna, and I'd get the sauce all ready and the cheese, and then I used to buy the lasagna, and I'd just make it up, and I'd make a big tray of it.
Yeah.
And then we could freeze it, and then we could take it out in sections. We could have it for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, when I make lasagna, I mostly use my own homemade pasta.
Yeah.
Because with the pasta you buy, you have to boil it.
Oh, yeah.
You have to make it cool.
Yeah.
You have to layer it.
Yeah.
My homemade pasta, when I do the lasagna like that, I just make the strips,
yeah.
and then I prepare the lasagna. I don't have to even cook it.
Oh, wow.
You can do it just straight like that.
Yeah.
Because when you cook it
I
in
used
the
to
oven,
I used to have to cook those strips.
oh, that's
and then,
a pain.
Yeah, oh,
That's
yeah,
a pain.
yeah.
With this way, when you cook it in the oven, you make sure you cover the whole thing,
Yeah.
seal it up. All the when cooks,
Yeah.
the what do you call it, smoke? No.
Yeah.
But anyways, the steam,
Yeah, steam.
okay, cooks the pasta.
Oh, yeah.
Because that type of pasta, it cooks really quick.
Oh, yeah.
It's
The other one, I remember the other ones were, it
Yeah.
was a chore. And everybody say, "Come on, you're going to make lasagna, Dad?"
Yeah.
And I say, "Okay."
I know. It is, And the other thing is when you eat homemade pasta, it's a different, it's a different story,
Yeah.
because your mouth will thank you.
Yeah.
You love that pasta in your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
On the other end, with the one you buy, it's
yeah.
too thick. It's too, that is
Not the same.
beautiful.
Not the
It's
same.
not the same. So I'm gonna just shut off the heat here, okay? And we are going to start the pasta. Now you see, it's beautiful. Look how nice
Oh,
and
yeah.
smooth it is. So what I do, I just cut,
Yeah.
pieces from the whole thing. Or should I leave this like that? Well, make sure you always have some flour, okay, available. It's nice and soft.
Yeah.
Okay, and you'll see, inside it's still, a little humid, obviously. But we take care of that as we do it in the machine. Now, this is a machine that anybody can buy. Uh, you know, there's different places that have this type of machine. It's called the pasta machine. And you know, Bed and Bath has it,
Yeah.
TJ Maxx, Marshalls. You know, they have, not all the time. They
No.
have a, you know, you gotta, you know, make sure that you, when you see it, you grab it because, you know. So with this machine, we can do the fettuccine and the spaghetti. And then there is attachments that you can buy. Let's see if I can do this thing here now. Okay. Oh. Has to go in at the same time, otherwise. All right. There we
There
go.
we go.
So this machine has numbers here on the wheel in the back here. Okay, it goes from 1 to 7. So you got to start from number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you just fold it and go again. And then you fold it again. You'll put a little flour here. Fold it again. And you see, when you make the pasta, there is some air inside.
Yeah.
So as you do this,
Gets it out of there.
you get the air out, and when the air, when you hear a pop, you see a little pop was there, not quite yet ready. See, the air is still in there, so I'm gonna just go by again. Okay, looks like it's out. So I'll do all 4 pieces in the number 1. Okay, I'll pass that in number 1, all 4 pieces.
It's a neat little machine.
Oh, yeah. And a little more flour. The air is out. Sometimes it makes a big pop, you know.
Yeah.
That is if you don't work it enough in the beginning. You know, I worked pretty much on that in the beginning, so that's. All right, so that's that. And then the last piece. So for example, now it's just only number 1. We're going to go to number 6. If you want make a little bit, you know, the pasta a little thicker,
Yeah.
you stop at 5, you know, the number 5. If you want to make it even, you know, thinner,
Yeah.
you're going to go all the way to 7. Because that type of pasta, you can use it, you know, you cut it by hand.
Yeah.
You can use it for soups. I just made, last night, I just made pasta and chickpeas. And I had,
wow.
you know, I did homemade pasta.
Yeah.
So I cut it in little lasagna, the shape. And I, cooked it with my chickpeas, and it was beautiful. But if you have a cold, you want to make, your chicken soup, that's a pasta to use. Obviously, you have to, you have to take the time. You have to know how to make it, and you won't have the cold anymore, or the flu, whatever. So we are at 4, number 4.
You have to really work that. You have to do that over and over again until you really get it the way you want it.
Yeah, because it has to be all the same, right?
Yeah.
When I do cooking classes at school, in fact, tomorrow I have a cooking class, and that'll be the fettuccine too. I'll let the students get involved, so they make their own little pasta,
Yeah.
and then what happens, sometimes, the pasta is a little dry or is a little loose, so, I have to correct that, but, at the end, it'll be all the same, and then we can eat it, and they love it, So as you go through the numbers, the pasta
Now it's really getting big.
gets longer, It gets stretched out, Imagine when we had the restaurant, we used to make the homemade pasta down in the basement. We had, space. I have picture of my husband with, making the pasta, and we had when you hang clothes.
Yeah.
We had something like that because we would hang the pasta there to dry out, because until we got the machine, and we got a big machine, and then my older son was in charge of that. Because people will, they would request the homemade pasta on some of the dishes,
Wow, now look at it.
Yeah, see, it gets longer and stretched out. This is only 4 pieces, but when I do a lot, I put the thing there on the island, because you can fit everything here. It's got to direct also the pasta, because if it goes on an angle, then it gets doubled, and that's no good, because then it'll be a different thickness. So after we go to all the numbers and the number that we want, then we would have to wait that the pasta is a little bit dries out a little more, because when you do the fettuccine and the pasta is not dried enough, then what happens? It gets all sticky together.
Oh yeah.
And so then it takes forever to separate. You don't want that. You want to make sure that it's a little bit drier than it is when you finish up, So now, I don't have room, you see that? So I'm gonna, see, this is too long, okay? So I'm gonna cut the strip in half. Because, when you eat the fettuccine, if it's too long, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So this is basically, the length of the pasta that you usually buy. Okay. Oh, I'm going to cut this one too. And this one is not that long, so we'll leave it that the way it is. And this one, you see, for 3 eggs,
Yep.
we got pretty much pasta. There we go. So I think,
So that thing does everything, that machine.
yeah. Well, here's the fettuccine cut.
Yeah.
This is the spaghetti.
Oh, wow.
And then there's attachments that you can do ravioli.
Yep.
I think that's the only other one.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, just go through the number 6 now, and then we stop and we'll wait until it gets a little drier. Just make sure that you always put flour.
Yeah, flour's important, obviously.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if somebody can have this type of flour, there is flour, for example, for celiac people.
Yeah.
I never tried it because I don't have any problem. I don't know how will, be with that type of flour, but I'm sure there is a way for that too, So if I was to do lasagna, these pieces just like that,
Yeah.
I will use the pieces to make the lasagna instead of cutting them, Okay, so we'll wait. I will put water. You're gonna have some of the pasta, right? And you're gonna
I
have
don't know,
some
you gonna
of
have some, Drew?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me just go through the last pass here. And see, now it's becoming even longer. You see that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
But we could leave it this way. It's a little thicker, so doesn't matter. Some people in Italy they like that the pasta to be thicker. It's called alla paesana.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the last one, the last number, and that way it will also dry quickly,
Unbelievable. Get that? See that, Drew? Look at that. And the amazing thing, it stays together.
Yeah, it stays together because, it was done properly. I remember one time, this thing always comes out. I had a class And the lady, she, she took the class, went home, and she called me. She said, my pasta doesn't come together. What do I do? You have to try over and over when you don't, you're not really that good, because in the beginning, obviously.
Oh, you gotta get to know the feel of it.
Exactly. I can't stand this thing that comes out. All right.
I'm amazed at how that stretches and stretches.
Yeah, it stretches even more.
It just doubles itself.
Yeah, it stretches even more if you go to the next number. All right. I think this is the one we haven't done. All done. So I'm going to take the machine out. Oh no, what am I doing? No, we need to do the cut the fettuccine. I can't. Gotta wait. I was just thinking of space-wise, if we can.
Yeah.
But no, we need the machine still to do the cutting of the fettuccine. So I'm going to put the pan with water
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
so we can cook this beautiful pasta and have it.
Wow.
All right?
All right. It's unbelievable. Start with that little ball. Remember, you had that little ball of dough.
Yeah.
We've
You
got
see the
we
little
have
ball
one-
of dough.
We have
you had all
1,
this.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 long strips of dough ready to make fettuccine out of it. Unbelievable. And now you do them all over here. Unbelievable. Look at all we got.
And
So
it's
folks, I hope you're watching this because
it's a satisfaction,
Oh,
you
yeah.
made it with your own hands.
yeah, what I'm amazed at, we had a little ball of dough. and
Yeah.
Look at the strips we have.
I know.
Unbelievable.
So with 3 eggs, you can feed, but maybe this is a lot of dough. You can feed at least 5, 6 people,
Yeah,
maybe,
6, 7 strips, yeah.
maybe more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. We have 7 strips.
Yeah. But when you have this pasta, you really want a lot, Yeah. Well, I put some salt in the water so it'll boil quicker. And let me find a cover. And this will fit. It's not the cover of the
That's
pan,
all right,
but
close
it's
enough.
okay, yeah. I have so many covers that,
Oh, I know.
sometimes I grab whatever I found. Any questions?
No, I'm just thrilled to watch how this works.
Yeah,
This little machine. I gotta tell Jen about this machine.
yeah.
I'm unbelievable. And I keep saying, out of that little pile of dough, look, we got.
You see, you wait until you eat this.
Okay.
You will love. You
Okay.
will love the whole thing. The taste. You will love how the pasta feels in your mouth. And the nice thing is that it cooks so fast. As long as the pasta comes up in the pan, comes up. No, it's maybe 5 minutes. 5 minutes only, and it's
Wow.
done. It's cooked.
Unbelievable. It's just incredible. Flour, eggs. We had 3 eggs and a little
Yeah.
pile of flour.
and
there we
a
are.
little salt, and that's
Yeah.
it. Sometimes, you can make the pasta without the eggs, just flour and water.
Yeah.
I use that type of pasta mostly for, to use it in the pasta and beans,
Yeah.
pasta fazool.
Yeah.
Because it's so nice and beautiful, it's
When you use
very
the eggs.
with the eggs mostly for sauce,
Yeah.
pasta and so. But if you have to use it in a soup,
Yeah.
you can use that too. But sometimes you can have, if you can have eggs, for example,
Yeah.
you don't have to use the eggs. You can make the pasta just as well.
Wow.
And same way without the eggs, and then you put them in the soup, or in the pasta fazool, or in the chicken soup, or
Yeah.
But like I said, you can use also this type of pasta with eggs.
Yeah.
At one time, I remember I made I had Father Bob here.
Yeah.
And I made this pasta. It's called the strozza preti.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the meaning of the word in English, it's I don't know how to exactly translate it, but strozza preti means it's a type of pasta that it chokes you,
Oh, okay.
But preti is priest.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to choke the priest.
Priest. Yeah.
And Father Bob, and he asked me, well, what type of pasta is this? I was afraid to tell him.
Yeah.
Because he knows Italian.
Oh yeah, he speaks Italian well. Yeah.
He speaks Italian. But I made that type of pasta for a group of, it was 12 people, I think.
Yeah.
They used to come to my restaurant.
Yeah.
When I had the restaurant. She used to come with the husband every single weekend.
Oh wow.
Loved the food. And then when we closed the restaurant, then I moved, and she got hold of me. I don't know how she did it. So she sent me an email and asking me if I remembered her, and I was like, I don't know. It's been so long. She described herself and stuff, and then I remembered her. And she wanted to have her birthday coming in a week or so, with my cooking. So she asked me, where are you now? We used to be in Marlborough at the time. And I told her where I was. Then my husband built the house, and she said, I want to come and see the house. I want to have my birthday in your house. Yeah. And I thought it was just her and the husband. There was 12 people, all my patrons, all the people that used to come.
Oh, wow.
Because they all knew each other, family member, I guess. We had a beautiful, beautiful, birthday party here, event. And she asked me to cook carbonara sauce. Yeah. She wanted the chicken Florentine. Yeah. She wanted the food that she loved.
Oh, yeah.
And that was 2 years in a row she did this.
Oh, wow.
So I made pasta fazool, because she wanted pasta fazool with that type of pasta. Yeah. And you should see it was a huge, because 12 people, right?
Oh, yeah.
Huge dish full of that. So beautiful, gorgeous. It was nice and thick. The pan. They were in heaven. So, yeah. This is what happened. Even when I had the restaurant, the people, you could see it in their face. How happy they were because of the food. They loved the food. So.
Oh yeah. There's nothing beats a great, good Italian.
Exactly.
When I was at the Registry of Motor Vehicles with Alan Mackey, I was a consultant over there. And I used to go in Tuesdays. And every Tuesday, he used to call this lady in the North End.
Yeah.
And she had 3 or 4 tables in her living room. And you had to know her, and you had to call. You just couldn't walk in.
You couldn't walk in, yeah.
So we would go every Tuesday. And she would, I love chicken cacciatore.
Yeah.
And she would make chicken cacciatore. And the registrar liked something different, and we would go, and sometimes we'd take, Charlie Berry, who was the Secretary of Public Safety, and we'd all meet there, and every Tuesday we'd go, and she was from Italy, and she would always say to the registrar, oh, I love you, Register, you know. And she would
Well,
just
you know,
make the food for us.
if you want the next class, when we're gonna do next class, I'll make a chicken cacciatore for you.
But I mean, just she was, you know, she was great, and we used to go every Tuesday, and she was wonderful. And,
Yeah.
you know, but she said, like, it was only certain people she would let in. You know?
Yeah.
And
Well, first of all, she was a small.
yeah, well, she had a living room, and she had 4 or 5
It
little
was
tables.
in our house.
In
then.
her house.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And she had in the living room, she had 4 or 5 little. It was right on the street, right on Hanover Street
Yeah,
in the North
yeah,
End.
yeah.
And you know, we'd knock on the door, and she'd let us in, and she'd cook in her kitchen, and we'd sit in the living room, and she had little tables, and she'd bring it out, and her daughter was there. Her daughter would serve.
Yeah.
You know, and it was, oh, she was great. She was terrific. You know,
Yeah.
and I make for you. You know, she was great. It was always good.
Yeah, and that's something that not everybody can do, you know.
No, I know.
They, everybody, you know, tries, but
Yeah.
chicken cacciatore is
Yeah.
not easy.
No.
You have to know, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
It can be really liquidy, and that's
Yeah.
no good.
No.
You know, it has to be in a certain way.
Yeah, I go to Mario's over in Southbridge.
Yeah.
And he makes it, and it's his mother's recipe.
Really?
And and I usually have it on spaghetti, and it's fabulous. I mean, I get it with red peppers.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it with peppers and sauce, and then the chicken. You know, I don't do any. That's all I don't. No onions, no mushrooms, just green. Because that's how she used to make it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With green and red peppers. You know, and a good sauce. It was a thick sauce.
Yeah.
And then we just had regular spaghetti, and it was great.
Yeah. Okay, so let's cut the fettuccine now.
Okay.
And we cut them again. We cut again because you know that again too long. I need now some space from here because I have to lay the fettuccine. Make sure I have the.
Oh wow.
So you see, that's, you know, the machine does that too.
Yeah.
If I have to do this by hand, which
Oh,
I
it
can,
take you forever.
which I can, but there is a trick. You know, you have
Yeah.
to make sure, first of all, the dough is really dry, not dry that it breaks. But what you do, you just fold the dough like this, okay?
Yeah.
And then you cut
Yeah.
the fettuccine that way, and then you open them up.
Yeah.
But this is much easier,
Oh yeah.
you know? You know, still some of it, you know, you have to separate it because it's, we want to eat, so we don't want to wait that much more, right?
Unbelievable.
No, just make sure you have plenty of flour and toss.
Yeah, so she won't stick together.
Yeah, so that, you know, they're nice and separated. Right. See, we could have left that also at number 5. It would have been okay too, you know. But you know, if you don't want to spend the time, don't get involved because you know this is time consuming.
Oh yeah.
You need to put the time in. Oh, nowadays everybody rushes, you know,
Rushes,
they
yeah.
all work and stuff, and I know it's difficult. But you'll appreciate the work after when you eat the pasta, you know. We bought after, so many years, we bought the machine, and I still have the machine downstairs, believe it or not.
Sure.
That what we use that at the restaurant. It used to make a lot of pasta. What we would do, we would fold, the pasta like a little nest.
Yeah.
And then dry it out, and then when we need it, we use it. Oh, this one is very long. Okay. So let's say you want to do this like a spaghetti, and you want to do angel hair, and it will go all the way to 7, the number,
Oh, yeah, it just changes it.
Yeah, change the number to the last one, and then, you'll have the angel hair. Or thicker, then you have the pasti, spaghetti casarecci, that we call them, like more thick.
It's amazing it doesn't lock in there.
Yeah, it doesn't lock in there. I don't know why. And I have 2 pair of this. This probably is not the one for this machine, because I got 2 machines. One, it's so old, it makes a noise, so I don't use that one that much. But maybe, this part belongs to the other one. So when we cook this, I'm gonna pass it through the colander,
Yeah.
so that the flour is not going to be when I put them in the water, because otherwise it's it's not good. It doesn't seem that there is too much here, but if I add more pasta, I have to add more flour. So. Still not much more here. Okay.
My wife said she was going to give me some Tupperware. So she said, don't eat it all, bring some home for me.
Did she give you Tupperware?
No, she was good at what I said. I'm not bringing Tupperware there. I can't do that.
I might have some Tupperware. I'll give it to you. I have to have it because my son comes on Tuesday.
Oh.
My son that lives in Charlton. And I cook for him,
Yeah.
for us, every Tuesday he comes and joins me. And
That's
so
good, though. That's good.
all the time, he takes a leftover. I make enough so he can take it to work.
Good.
But he never brings the stupid thing back, the Tupperware back. Oh my, it's in my kitchen. Oh yeah, of course, in your kitchen, but it doesn't help me, So I always have to scramble for Tupperwares. So two of these we're gonna do the spaghetti instead, okay? We're gonna use it to make spaghetti. This one, we're gonna use it for spaghetti.
Yeah, we got plenty of fettuccine.
Yeah, there's plenty here. Okay. Is the water boiling?
No, I'll check. Nope.
Not yet. All right, so one. So now we're gonna do spaghetti with this one here.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable.
You see that?
Yeah. That's great.
They're so light, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so. Now this they're gonna dry. You can leave it right on the countertop. And when they dry, you can keep them for a week,
Oh, wow.
2 weeks, nothing happens. You know, like I'm gonna make some nice chicken soup and I'll have the spaghetti with it.
Good. There you go.
Okay. There we go, so let's get rid of this. And you don't need to wash this.
No, it's all flour anyway.
Yeah. And I keep that. It's boiling. All right, so. All the flour is absorbed, so I don't have that much flour left, so I can just use it without putting this. I'm gonna make the whole thing, and then you guys can take the leftover. How's that?
Incredible.
See, now this is going to boil again, right? And then it's done.
Done.
Oops, I'm
Move that.
losing this.
That's okay.
Oh,
Just clip it back on, no problem. There you go. Well, that's amazing. It's unbelievable.
yeah. It's time consuming, but it's worth it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is certainly worth it. There's no question about that. I hope you folks are paying attention to this now. And we gotta make sure some of you folks at home will get a chance to be able to do this. You know, and you saw what goes on. You gotta go to get a machine, you know, and
Yeah, and they can, you know, sign up for a cooking class.
yes,
If they
at
have
Bay
a
Path,
problem.
up at Bay Path, isn't it Bay Path?
PayPal, but also as a private, you know, I
Yeah.
do cooking classes here too.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, see, all they gotta do is get a hold of you.
They can go, like I said last time, on Facebook. There's
Yeah.
Lina's Kitchen,
Yeah,
and my phone number is right there.
right?
They can either text me or send me a message through Facebook, or they call me.
Good.
They can call me, and you know, we can talk about
yeah.
it. We set up a class.
Yeah,
They can get a group. You know, a lot of people,
Yeah.
what they do.
yeah, get 2 or 3.
They
know.
like if there is a birthday coming, they can give a class as a present.
Yeah,
You know, they can do a group, you know, group class.
yeah.
I can take up to 12, 15 people.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, less it's okay too.
Yeah.
You know, it depends what they want me
Yeah.
teach.
No, but a lot of times, girls, you know, the girls have a group of friends.
And I had a lot of those too.
Yeah.
They love, you know, they have a good time. You know, we can have fun. I sing sometimes.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, I'm going to ask you to come here and hold this for me.
Hold it for you.
Yeah, because it's dry. Otherwise, hold on. I'll put them in the sink. No, because I want to
Yeah.
get a container to put this in. You know, maybe not that one. I'll get one in here. Okay.
There we are.
And now we got the sauce. There you go. Nice fettuccine with marinara sauce. And we're going to put some Parmesan cheese on top. And we're going to have it.
Unbelievable.
Okay? We got to sit down now.
Gonna go over there?
Yeah? You wanna finish the class, or how are we gonna do it?
Well, well, we're ready to eat, okay? So I
Yeah.
think that's it. We did a great job. So there we are. We're all ready to go. We got fettuccine. And I'll tell you, next time I do a program, how good it was. How's that?
Exactly.
Okay? Lina, thanks so much.
Thank you,
And we'll be
thank
back.
you.
We'll be back next
Yeah.
month with another recipe.
Okay, thank you for watching.
Okay.
I hope you contact me if you need me.
Good.
And I'll be happy to help you the best way I can.
Good.
Okay?
That's it. Another Conversations with.
Ciao.